Hello, what is going on, dudes? My name is 13, and after I got such a response from people wanting me to build the display case and make a video out of it, I decided why not ask if you guys want me to make a video of me reshelling my DS. And so, that's what happened. This one took a lot less time overall, even though in many ways it was more frustrating. I will be able to do more cutting and less full speed up as we go through it, but I'll try to talk about some things as we do it. This is not a tutorial, by the way. I will link the tutorial that I used in the description below, because it was quite helpful, except for one part, which I will get to in a little bit. For context, I don't know if I have any footage right now on me. The hinge on my 3DS XL, which I bought in beginning of 2014, had been busted around 2019, I want to say, 2018, 2019, something like that. It had gotten knocked off my desk. I still don't remember how, because I came into my office and saw that it had been knocked off. And I think that what happened was the cat got stuck in my office and we didn't know about it, and the cat knocked it off and whatever. So luckily everything else was fine, just the hinge was busted. And so I basically put a piece of hot glue in the barrel hinge, and then not a piece, I put some hot glue in there to solidify the thing, and then I put that in there, and then I put tape over it in order to hold that into place. And so the hinge kind of sort of worked, surprisingly. But the problem with that is that it constantly held down the right bumper. Not necessarily, it wasn't constantly holding it, it was constantly holding it down in the fact that I could not press it as easy. And what I really wanted to do is I wanted to be able to, for my Soul Silver Shiny Badge Quest, is to do a couple of soft reset hunts. And by doing so, being able to use a rubber band to hold down the triggers, so I can just tap start and select, and then I don't have to do as much inputs when I want to reset my game, which I'm able to do on the new one, and on my 2DS XL, but I could not on this guy because of that fact. I decided let's try reshelling it, because I like to do things like this. I like to modify. I hacked all my DSs. I like to do modifications. If soldering wasn't a nightmare and I had like a proper kit that I would do, I'd probably learn how to solder better, and I probably would have been able to do my new Capture DS myself and gotten it for cheaper, but I didn't, and that's okay. I prefer to leaving things like that to like the professionals, the people who actually know how to do that. But anyways, I decided to spend a little bit of money on a cheap shell, because of the fact that I was only replacing one part of it, being the top of the bottom side, the place where the face buttons are, the hinges, because the hinge is obviously the biggest thing that I need to replace, because that like plastic piece shattered. I might have been able to save it had it not just completely shattered, but it did. And that was a long time ago anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I got a cheap one because I was not going to replace the entirety of the shell. I found a tutorial that I liked, and it's pretty simple. There's a few slight differences between the motherboard he was using and my motherboard, specifically one of them being the capture mod, because the capture mod adds an extra PCB that I actually physically cannot remove because it is soldered to the board on the other side of the board. And so I was unable to remove that even if I wanted to, which made attaching LCD cables at the end a little bit difficult, but I was able to figure that out eventually. But I ended up just leaving the circle pad one on there too, because of the fact that it was connected underneath that, and I was like, I'm not gonna deal with this. One thing I wish I could have replaced was the actual circle pad, because there was no new circle pad in this kit, which actually sucks. But I know it's just to replace the shell rather than all of the parts, which also includes the little buttons. But I had taken apart my sister's Mac in the middle of 2025 because I needed to re-put some thermal paste on it for her. So I was kind of used to working on PCBs like that, because you don't have to deal with that as much on normal like desktop computers. On laptops you do, but I've never actually taken apart a laptop until I tinkered with that to replace it with some paste. And so I felt confident doing this, and rightly so. I did everything with when it came to that part was perfect. It was quite annoying trying to get the hinge part. So okay, so there's gonna be a decent amount of the footage that is just me struggling. It's like 2 hours I struggled with this. So basically, on my top hinge, there was a white piece of plastic that it itself was, I have no idea. I don't even know if it's supposed to be there, because I didn't really see anything like that on the tutorial of the guy I was watching, because he was able to just slot the thing in and then just pop in the barrel jack. And I wasn't able to do that. There was no option for me to be able to do that, which was really annoying. Because I even took the thing out. I have a little bit of footage of me holding that up to the camera because that was the source of my issues. But then it didn't work. So basically, I just got so sick of this shit. So what I did is I cut the end of it off because it was structured in a way where the top half was a little bit wider than the bottom half. And I basically cut the top half off so it was even, and then I was able to bend the plastic around it and pop it into place. Now, as a result, the hinge doesn't really work unless you have it in a very, 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 very specific spot, but it will sit open at least. I have no idea how the guy did it, and I was still unable to figure it out because I couldn't get the white piece off. I don't know if that was supposed to be there or supposed to not be, but then I was thinking, okay, well, I'll just go this side first and then I'll put in the other side afterwards. But there's a metal cylinder that is on inside the left side where the LCD cables go. And that metal cylinder had either had gone crooked, or just the force of me trying to mess with the thing made it like unstick from the actual top half. So it was stuck in the thing, and I could not pull it out. Granted, the tweezers I was using are Garbo. They're not very good, and they pissed me off, and I spiked them today. They're still fine. They're metal tweezers, but I was annoyed, and I just grabbed some tweezers from my bathroom. I ended up having to just be like, okay, I'm gonna have to cut it and bend the plastic gently enough to be able to get it over, and I did. And it works, and it's fine. Granted, I didn't necessarily need the hinge. That wasn't my biggest goal with this. The biggest goal was literally to be able to use a rubber band to be able to do the soft reset trick, and I'm going to be able to do that, which is great. So anyways, I finally got everything put back together, and I was like, I mean, this thing is so fucking tough, there is no way I've broken it, and I didn't. I put everything back together, everything works great, and I'm happy. I'm happy that everything is done. I did buy a new battery, because I noticed the battery was swollen, and this battery has been in there forever, and I noticed the battery was a little bit swollen in the middle, and I'm like, well, it doesn't hold its charge very well anyway, so and I think that's because for a while the battery was bad, so I left it on the charger, and that's a bad thing to do because I think it's a bit too old to have good battery regulation. So anyways, I've ordered a new battery. I ordered a new battery actually before I even took this thing apart and knew that, so it was good foresight on my part. And luckily the battery is quite literally the easiest thing to change. So I got my beautiful DS that I've had for 12 years now, and got modded later in that year, which has been like 11 and a half years, and I mean, she's still going, and that's about it. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, like, appreciated. I will leave the tutorial in the description below if you're interested in doing this yourself. Do not follow my tutorial because there's no tutorial. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Damn right. Man, I had to cut this sumbitch. You can't see it. Oh, it's on the other side. You can't see it, but I literally had to cut the damn white piece in order to get it to fit in the goddamn barrel hinge, bro. Anyway. See that click? It ain't done that shit in years.